Needs to hear this. But sometimes your very own personal rock bottom is the only time you stop and look up and go, what the fuck am I doing? Because when things are fine, when you're feeling good about yourself and your life, your relationships, and how you handle things, you're not standing there and looking at things and how they can change and how they can be different and how you can grow. And you know what? It doesn't end. Not really. There's always something. But you also know how to ride the cycles. You've done it enough times. You are going through the loop again and looking at your life and going, what do I need to cut away? And you already know exactly what you need to cut away and exactly what needs to shift. But sometimes comfort is a prison. And sometimes we would never intentionally make that choice. To be uncomfortable, to leave that zone, no matter how miserable we are, we won't do it. And Spirit usually forces you to. Because those battles you keep on fighting with yourself, they're not meant to last forever. They're meant to last until you make a different choice. They will keep lasting until you make a different choice. Creation is your gift. It's not just what you can do, but it's what the universe gives to you. Creation is a gift to you and through you and for you. And your gift to the world. And if you're not doing that, creating in some way, fulfilled in some way, you're still in a pot in the window, not in the garden. I'm getting imagery from my Venus flytrap right now, who maybe I'll get up and show you. I'm supposed to be asleep, by the way. I got like 3 hours, and then I woke up. It's my cycle right now. But everything happens in divine timing for divine reasons, and you know, that Venus flytrap was on my windowsill in the kitchen for months. And it represents my relationship with my mother, which has always been difficult and hard to care for, like to feed. And I got fruit flies in my kitchen, and I was like, okay, the Venus flytrap is going to eat them. Never did. I just got a fruit fly infestation. And I finally got rid of it. I got rid of them by putting it outside. And it's thriving. It's doing so well, it's actually still got a little fly carcass in there from the last meal. It like opened back up after I finished eating that guy. But you know, there's one right there. That might even still be alive. Maybe it hasn't snapped closed yet. But the plant is thriving. There's my little my little avocado seed. And you know, it's getting cold. It's October. I'm going to have to do something with these plants soon. And I've known that day's been looming, but this little Venus flytrap couldn't thrive, couldn't succeed indoors. Maybe it'll go dormant. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe it won't survive after all. Maybe it will. But I can't stress about that right now. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to figure it out. But your relationships with difficult people are the ones that require the most effort from you. And I've noticed some of that too with my coworkers, because I've got a couple, and by and large, they're all great. But every once in a while, I find myself being irritable because someone doesn't follow instructions, or somebody contradicts you, or somebody takes 15 minutes to do a 5-minute task. And I end up shouldering the excess, right? But reaction is the test. How do you respond to those people? Because loving boundaries are what I learned with my mother. And loving boundaries are what we're supposed to demonstrate with ourselves. But those are the most difficult to set. And your reactions are the most difficult things to control. And I think there's a difference between not people-pleasing and being mean. I think it indicates that there's still some lingering resentment for that other person. There's some part of you that is still in the mental space of like, oh, I don't like her. Because maybe she's been nasty to you. It's reminded me of a Sabbath school teacher I had when I was a kid. She was one of the only people that I could actually bond with in the religious environment. She was relatively progressive for them. But she was also the fake kind. As genuine as she is, she was also the fake kind. She had little ways of complimenting people in ways that made her feel like she was getting her lick backs. Like, in her mind, she could walk up to somebody she hated their guts, and she would be like, oh, I really like your sweater. And they'd be like, oh my God, thanks. And then she would walk away and, tell anybody else that she trusted enough with the information that when she complimented somebody and she said, I really like your sweater, she didn't mean that she really liked your sweater on you. She really liked your sweater, not that it looked good on you. And that kind of that kind of twisted revenge, It's the energy of getting everybody a Christmas present, but your close people get real Christmas presents, and the other people that you don't like, they still get a present, but it's like a fruit and nut mix, you know what I mean? Like something like that, where it's not genuine, authentic energy. It's Baltimore backhand. That's what we call it around here. A Baltimore backhanded compliment. Maybe that's a colloquialism, I'm not sure. That's how they do it in Bmore. But that doesn't make you a good person. Having that sub-compliment for that person so that you can fake niceties. That vulnerability. That's the key. Being able to look that person in the eye and genuinely say, you know what, you make my life difficult sometimes. But I don't mean to treat you worse. You don't even have to say that to them. Sometimes that can create an incident. I've had it before where I try to honestly express my frustration with people and they just take it to the hill. But that happened in the job environments that I wasn't supposed to be in. Where every single thing that you try to do to bridge the gap or be honest or authentic is taken as an assault. So, come back down to the fact, that's not where you're supposed to be. And everybody keeps on telling me right now that you're lucky to have a job at all right now. It's such a tough market. Things are going sideways for everybody. But I'm trying to convince my sister to start a cookbook right now. Because that's what she's, I think, meant to be doing in this time. That she doesn't have a job. I think it all leads somewhere specific. And you have to have faith in order to find what's meant for you. And sometimes that means taking a beat where you don't think a beat should be taken. I don't know.